They call me Big Dog, riding with the hillbillies. Q-Bone staying with the lick. Really became a boss many years back. When I'm gone, give me, pull your tears back. We put the bang and produce. You got no chance of hanging. They take the tails when you're flipping the quarter. We ain't slowing down, we crashing through the border. So let the rhythm hit him, just let the rhythm hit him. Cause when you feel it in your soul, lift the sound system. Let's turn it up, a little louder, turn it up. A little louder, turn it up. We never turn it down, universal sound. When we move the pound, take a look around. When we touch the town, knock the waist, stomping in my big black J's. Corny, get stuck in the maze. We never suffer fools, had enough of you. False friends and loose ends make me wanna fool. That we got another world tour, touching every shore, from Cali to Singapore. Every day I'm seeing more in the temple as we rock up tempo instrumentals. I saw my dream in a dream, then I woke up. Put the dream team together, now we one time. So let the rhythm hit him, just let the rhythm hit him. Cause when you feel it in your soul, lift the sound system. Let's turn it up, a little louder, turn it up. A little louder, turn it up.
First off, let me talk my. Got a couple things I gotta cross off my list. How you insomniac for sleeping on my. It's a bad soundtrack, read the script. Born in the motherland, headed straight down to the south. Tennessee mornings with pops, working 3 jobs. I knew that they struggled to get it, that's why I wanted to get it. That embedded, you get it, treat it like the law. And I'ma need commission for this hit. Lance laid the canvas and I painted over it. I don't need a vision board to show you I'm betting on myself, count the chips. Got it. Made some choices for a profit. That's my logic. I'ma take it to the coffin. Just being honest. Try to sink my ship like Titanic and leave me with Jack. Hope I be panicking, but I rose to the top. Isn't it funny that the is built like a Maserati, yoga folding like origami? Blood, I walk the walk, I talk the talk.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas.
Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25.
Herbert on the first play wants to pass it. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were excellent a week ago in a victory over Arizona.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation. And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. So motivation this week, not an issue.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. The first carry now. This is Williams. 4 yards the pickup, first down. The Raiders had 8-3 now. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. And This one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT. So these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the visitors getting the win there. So they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think...
nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Herbert now. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That's good for 28 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 4 catches now on this drive alone. They can't stop him. It's another first down. And they're not hiding who their central focus is on offense. Charles, he already now has 4 receptions here on this opening drive.
And I know people who are watching the game are thinking, did they forget about him in the defensive game plan?
Touchdown! Dameon Pierce, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Now a man born here in California, Joe Mixon, and he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And see, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A handoff running left, Mixon. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Back to Mixon on 1st down.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
11 more on that one and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Meanwhile, here a run on 1st down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage.
You want to talk about the proverbial deer in the headlights. That's exactly what he was when he got the ball. Went to hit a lane and get upfield, and all he saw, extra defenders bearing down on him. Perfect time to dial up the blitz. An excellent call.
Now, after the loss, he'll have to navigate a 2nd and 17. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Throwing on 2nd and long. Love finds his man. It's John Mechie. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Boswell's kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do. So I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. And he's got it complete to Anderson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Robbie Anderson, 64 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Already speed limits out there, and off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. And he's got some space here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case. Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Daxton Hill there to make the stop on defense.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
On 3rd down, Love. And that is incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Boswell's kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
30-yard line, 2nd and 12.
Back to throw here, Herbert. It's Williams on the catch. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The Chargers trot out their dime package, expecting a throw on 3rd down. Now it's Herbert. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. T.J. Watt in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away.
Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
I feel like you and I can be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I've never returned punts, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
On 2nd down, Williams. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop his shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And his kick is good.
So the return had him fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out there on Mr. 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball after that. They didn't even get a 1st down.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
The Charger drive about to get going. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
On the
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. To pass, here's Jordan Love. He'll get that complete to Albert O. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Let's not quibble about the game there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Love looking to throw it. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And he is going to have the Chargers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd.
Gain on the play. First down, Los Angeles.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Going back to Love. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Love now. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing. Love. Throwing left side. It's complete. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
A 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Play fake. Here's Love. Quick hitter here. It's complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage. Got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
They will throw again here with Jordan Love. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 41. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. A final shot before the break for Herbert. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Chargers going to get the football first here in this second half, and they trail as we get back underway. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stout troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to put.
Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And the Raiders have recovered.
So it's kind of more of the same offensively. This was a team needing to come out in this third quarter with a little fire. Instead, they put the ball on the ground.
And you know that has to be the discussion at halftime, because they're down 2 scores. We got to come out with a little bit more urgency than we had in the first half. Now that urgency falls on their defense because they can't fall down 3 scores and hope to come back and win this game.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up second down. On second down, here's Pierce. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
That was short one to Gesicki, so he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll bring up 4th down. They snap it to Herbert. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Love from the gun. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Out of the shotgun, it's Love. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play that time on the catch and run. 35 yards.
On third down, it's very simple. Make sure you get beyond the sticks, make the catch, pick up the first down. But in this case, he turned into bonus time and was off to the races for a monster play.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Love. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Chargers. Albert O from 19 yards away. And the Chargers have cut it back within a score. Love throwing for it. And he's got it. So they try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal.
Chargers 14.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Anderson. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 33-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Herbert now. Here's Johnson with a reception. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That goes for a gain of 31.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Herbert. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 22-yard line. The third down conversion is successful. Give him 12 yards that time.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. And he wisely will throw that one away.
And their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. To the air again, Herbert. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Aiden Hutchinson in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That'll be Anderson loses the football and picked up by the Chargers. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
This drive didn't end well, but if they can keep stringing these together, they'll like what they're doing. That was an 8-play drive before it ended in a fumble. So the takeaway's got to be doing what we want to do and doing it well. Just got to take care of the ball at the end.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Malik Harrison on the tackle. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon. A dime look defensively for the Raiders on 3rd down.
Hey, you're right. 2 extra DBs out there. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And some room to run now. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down.
So often on these RPOs, we see the ball get from the quarterback to the receiver in what feels like a nanosecond. But on this play, he actually cleared coverage downfield a bit before the ball got to him. The net result, though, a considerable gain.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Mixing up the middle. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. 81 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Working out of the gun. Love. He finds his running back, Mixon. Touchdown! Joe Mixon, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Chargers have taken a 4th quarter lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On first down, Justin Herbert. And the catch made by Johnson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. They'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And some space here. Touchdown, Raiders. Mike Gesicki, 48 yards. And the Raiders answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth quarter lead. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Love. That's complete. It's Okurebunom. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
To throw now, here's Love. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
The Raiders is going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Desperation time here. Love on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. First and 10, it's Pierce.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Touchdown! Darrell Williams, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Raiders are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead.
Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down. And now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the 1st down. And after that, the air just went right out of the balloon. And you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
As the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
Out of the end zone, it's Tutu Atwell. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now.
And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. To return is Taylor, and he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 39-yard punt, give them a good 10 yards on the return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. On first down, it's Herbert. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. 23 yards on the play. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Darrell Williams, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. That 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the fourth quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on them as they stop it for no gain. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Love. And the Raiders have got him. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25.
Here we go.
On 4th down, Love. He rifles one that's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. they'll take that one and head to the locker room.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup there to Raider first. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
And they will take a knee here. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And then the buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution.